It's basically how we've recorded the drums on the entire record.
Yeah.
We have a little bit more tracks going here, but we're probably gonna end up using 3 or 4 of them anyway. They're all run through the TubeTech preamps, except for 2 tracks that I run through my old Telefunken here. Just to get an idea of the sound here, it's an up-tempo song, it's gotta be kind of wild and crazy. We actually had, in front of the kick, we had the ribbon mic, and then behind the ribbon mic we put one of the toms, just to give some ring.
Okay.
We needed it to be wild and crazy. So let's hear the drum track as it sounds. So what we've got going here is we got a close-up on the kick outside, an old D12 sounding like this. We also tuned the drum to be like Motown-ish, very old school. We did something that I usually don't do, but because we don't have any attack, this is mostly like soft ring, I put an SM7B into the kick, because that couldn't reach pretty far in, and that one sounds like this. So we don't have much of the sound there, but we have the attack, and we might need that a little bit. So then we have the hi-hat, pretty much straight with a Neumann KM184. I don't have a typical way of placing that mic. I just move it around until we get the right sound. We didn't want this too bright. We want it to be kind of ringy, so it sounds like this. Pretty close, because we got so much in the overhead. The overhead is where I try to get my main sound. I'm happy if I can turn on the overhead and the B&O on the kick and get the sound. The rest is just to be safe, that we have the close-up attack. So I use a lot of time placing the overhead. This one is pretty close to the kit and kind of centered just above the kick drum. And then all of these mics I just described are run through the TubeTech preamps, and this one has the EQ engage that we raised actually up to 10 dBs on 12 kilo, very broad. Goes something like this, and no high cut. And in the bottom end, I go something like this on 60 Hertz. Boost and cut at the same time, just a little bit, because it shapes the low end.
The good old low end trick.
I don't know exactly what it does, but I saw it sometimes and I tried it, and I tend to do it all the time because it sounds great. It just shapes my low end. And because it's the ribbon overhead, it's very dark, and the triple you can get out of it sounds amazing. That's why I add this much of 12K, which surprised me a little bit, because I usually don't like doing things on the way in, but that just sounds great. So that's been my standard way of doing it ever since. I should say that usually I try to get more kick in the overhead than it is now, because we have all this ring with the kick set up. I covered it, okay, so we could kind of control that thing. So I would usually go for more kick in the overhead than this, but anyway. So except for the kick drum, this is very balanced. This is the sound I'm going for. So that was one of my main mics. The other one is the old B&O ribbon mic that I had this RCA ribbon installed in. That one sounds like this. I can actually tell the ribbon is a little bit cranking, but anyway, I love this microphone. I got super low ends. I got the attack. I got the sound. I got the ring.
But here you had a tom.
I had the tom behind it
To have even more ring.
To have even more ring
on
purpose. on the back side of it.
On the other side of
Yeah,
the
because
figure
I
eight.
guess it's figure eight,
It
right?
is figure eight.
So it captures both things. Basically, if I turn on these two ribbon mics, the new AAA and the old B&O, I basically get the kit. It sounds like this. To me, that sounds great. Then, of course, we have a close-up on the snare to give it the punch we need. And I like a Sennheiser 441. Again, I started using that because that's what I had. And I always thought my microphone was really, really cool looking. So I don't know if that's a typical snare mic. I think I've seen it sometimes on the snare, but I like it better than the 57.
This is with the Telefunken. This is not.
This is with the Telefunken, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Because it's actually, well, you can hear it for yourself, but it sounds like I've compressed it. And the compressor is like organic and varies a bit after the attack. So the last microphone we put on was we put a small dynamic microphone on the floor tom, because he plays the floor tom quite a bit on this track, and also it has this nice ring. Ooh, and we wanted to capture that. So this is the microphone we found that could capture that the best. This microphone, this is a small Sennheiser, you know, usually from live recordings. But that one got the ring without capturing too much other stuff. I would basically turn on my main two mics here, the B&O ribbon, the AAA ribbon overhead. I would add a little bit of kick, a little bit of hi-hat. Sounding like this. That sounds exactly like I want to hear it. To taste, you could add some D12 for a more close-up kick and even more attack with the inside microphone. So let's turn on all the microphones. Sounds like this.